Good morning. Good morning. Uh, midterm exam. Midterm exam. Uh, the last Friday of this month, which is 2 weeks from today, right? 2 weeks from today. So online students needs to be here. Here. Yeah. If anything changes, then I'll let you know. The reason I'm trying to do test, for example, there's a important experiments conducted at the University of St. Louis and was presented this Wednesday by one of the faculty from Massachusetts. Measure the performance of students learning. Students can learn a lot more if there is a test. If there is no test, then performance reduces dramatically. For example, if there is a test in any class, if there is one or more tests, then the performance will go up to 80%. If there is no test, it drops to 40%. Big difference. And memory is also very, very important. According to that experiment, memory. Sometimes, some high level, for example, graduate courses, and open book test, one take-home test probably be okay. For undergraduate courses, memory is important. Even undergraduate courses like this, very foundational courses, you need to have some memory. Memory is defined in this way. Memory. What is memory? Memory is the residue of thoughts. So I agree with that definition. Right? Memory is not just a meaningless recording. Memory is a residue of thoughts. So if you have thoughts, if you have more thoughts in your brain, then you can react to any questions, any possible questions from the interview, for example, right? So you need to have some residue in your memory. That is the reason I ask you to come and then take test here, which means you need to memorize some. To memorize, first you have to understand, right? Sometimes some students, even though there's no understanding, just memorize it. If lucky, then get the answer, right? He may be, again, lucky at the interview. Likely, highly possible, right? So memory is important. If you memorize, side effect of memorization is possible understanding. I don't know. Have you done at your, for example, second grade, elementary school? The timetables, right? We have to memorize that, right? Or fourth grade, with that of second grade. We memorize it, right? With no meaning, not much. Once you memorize it, then As we practice it, then we realize that, oh, this is that much important. Similarly, programming language, if first try to understand, but sometimes you do not understand quite well, right? Because you are not at that level. Sometimes I show to you, I do not know all also. But as I teach, as I practice, the one that I memorized on my coding and behaviors of my coding, my program, from the from observing the behavior of my coding, I realized I can learn more. Oh, this statements of a Python language behaves in this way. At another time, to another reply. Python is particularly that language uh, not built based on strong foundation, strong theoretic foundation, but some of it added like building block, right? Add some by adding more properties into the existing statements. Current Python, the power of current Python became available. There is a reason sometimes we practice and we expect some behaviors, but it doesn't behave to that much. All right, today, so exam, midterm exam. We have two exams, right? Midterm and final. Midterm, 2 weeks from today. So online students is going to take their midterm also during that period. I think they have when Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the Halloween weekend. Okay. So your case also Friday morning here. Is it October 30th? It is. Here, this time. The types of questions. Very few true false type of questions, maybe 3 or 4 true false type. And most of the questions are short answer, which means I can give you some blanks. So you may understand what it should be done. Yeah, we could do that next week. Okay. If you have any question by next week, then email me or text me so that I can prepare some good study guide. Basically, I can give you code segments that explain what it should be done, and there is some blanks. So I ask you to fill in the blanks. Many questions in that type, and then maybe 1 or 2 questions the full programming. Maybe one. Full coding. Yeah. Which means you should run. Right? We're doing the full programming questions. We're just doing handwriting now. Handwriting. Handwriting, but I'm not really grading grammar. But language grammar, yes. Okay. The syntax. Syntax is important, and some logic. But programming is a lot simpler than the coding that you've done for the homework assignment. For example, a little bit of reasoning, a little bit of logical thinking required. I can give you a list of numbers. list of numbers. Give me max. Give me min. Maximum and minimum. So top one. What's the highest number? And there are many ways to determine the highest number. Sometimes first sorting the list and then, but there is a sorting. Sort. There's a sort. What are the sorts of methods available in the list? We use that. Or you can build it. Or you can, if I ask you, what is the second? What is the top 10 list? Sorting is not really important in these days. Why sorting is not important? There's so many elements available. If you go to a website and Google how many matches, million matches, right? Which ones are really interesting to you? Top 10 list. Can you produce every time top 10 list if you can reduce matching time? Of course, million matches, producing million matches takes a lot longer time than providing top 10 list only. Something like that. Okay. Exercise 4.2. Last time we did this, right? I guess we did. Menus. Did we? Oh yeah. We started the menu, right? We did. Oh, this, right? That is exercise 4.2, I guess. Oh, no, not exercise 4.2. Example 4.3. Right. Example 4. Well, example 4.3 is. Oh, this is a little more than that. So I think example 4.2. Pull down menu. So I know you did create files, open files, save as, exit, and a little bit of help. Why don't we continue to do this, and then a little bit, somehow, I mean, the complete a little bit, complete somehow, and then we'll switch to extending the version of that. Let's see how much everything but open file. Oh, in the code, therefore, did I give empty? Oh, I did. Okay. Implement this. Oh, I see. So anybody has thoughts? What is the issue here is open file. I said, I asked you to complete. Anybody? You did? Which is you click, you open up Windows browser and choose one file and put it back to your correct version. Let me see yours. You surprised? And I'm proud of you. No, you have to implement that. That's what I asked you to. Implement it. Okay, I'll show you how it should be done, right? Because I've done here, so rather than giving you the whole coding list, I can give you a demo so that you may know what to do. Are you okay? I heard, yeah, somebody hit you, right? Oh, yours work? Great. Yeah. Here's it. If you do open, then it gives you the list of the files, so that you can pick one of those. I would like to pick. You can pick the coding list also. Let me pull up the coding list of this. That sounds great. So if I click this code itself, this is code. Where is open file? This is open file. Yeah. This is a comment. I didn't make fonts, so not gonna work. Only menu. Some of this just menu, like this. Okay, so it should the content of the selected file should be displayed here. New, if you do new, then clean up everything, and then you can still type. You can type on this new editor. No, I want you to do open. If you do open and choose one of those, it's nothing. Open one file. Let me see the size. Keywords, there is a size. So that's, yeah, keyword, something like this.
This is a JPEG file. Let me see how a JPEG file can be displayed. I'm curious. I've never done that. No, there's an error. No JPEG files. Only plain text. Sample saved. Okay.
What we are doing right now,
I'll show it to you. Okay. I want you to focus these two functions, methods. First of all, create files. If a user let's say if a user wants to do new button to create a new file, then, for example, if there are something already in this editor, then uh, by clicking the new file, the user expects to have a new canvas, right? New editor. So what you need to do is that you need to delete everything in that editor GUI components. What is the editor? Editor is a text which is contained in the TK, right? That is the editor. So yeah, this. So you have to delete it. What do you delete? Delete method takes two parameters. 1.0 means from the beginning, which means there is no keyword begin or start. And then there is end. So you can put 1.0 comma and then it deletes from the beginning to the end. What does that mean? You can delete selectively if you want. Okay? For example, I want to highlight this, only delete this part. That is also possible. But needs more work if you want to do. If you want to make your editor like many good editors that you used so far, then it needs a lot more work, right? But it is not impossible. I think you can get some feeling, right? From open file and editing and saving, it's similar to that. Okay, so this is that open file. You don't have to worry about this. So this is not. Sometimes I put there global. In this case, it is not really needed. What does that mean is we have some variables defined in the local, some variables defined in another local, which means variable available in one method, one function. Another variable created a different function inside the different function. Then it is not really transparent to other methods because both are local, right? If they are local, but if you want to somehow report to that variable, then you need to make it global. In this case, it is not really needed. This global is not needed. You can start from here. There is a function, ask open file. You want to read it only, right? So mode equals all for read. Then file is chosen by having this. So F is nothing but file. Simple check here. If file is none, then return. Otherwise, again here, if you want to make this more form, then you need to say else. You can do like this.
So by else, how many else's we can implement in one?
One if, one else. Else is the last statement. If you need to have multiple conditions, then you need to have if, elif, elif, elif. For example, elif, and then condition 2, action 2, elif, condition 3, action 3, A. Too much? Like this, right? You could do this. Which one? Oh. Let's see the else part. Once F is chosen, once a file is chosen, then you need to read it, right? F.read. If we read it, then we do not know what it is. If it is a string or not. Only thing that we can display here is a string. So you convert that to string. And file to open. You make it string, and then if there is anything left, then you want to delete one more time before you display text to open. So finally, we can display text to open by having this method. Editor has insert method, and first mode is insert. This is whether you want to insert or append or whatever. Append is another possible thing, and then text open. If I don't check this, for example, I'm curious. If I don't do this, I want to save this as 2, for example. And I want to open. I want to save this and open 2. Sorry. Try to open JPEG file. It's not open. Maybe, yeah. Codec. Codify and decodify mode is needed. So this is only for text. But if you do some more, as it complains here, character map underscore decode. So something JPEG file needs to be decoded and then properly rendered on your editor. Right now, my editor is what? Text. Right? Editor is an object of text. Therefore, text instance cannot render multimedia. I think to do that, you need to have another instantiation of another class. All right. So I don't need this. So I don't need this. I want to, let me see, is this the one that just created? No. Menu 2. Yeah, here. This 2 needs to go. Okay? So yeah, I guess you have have been doing pretty much, right? So we'll do one more GUI for today, which is in example 4.3. This is another interesting and challenging program scripts. Write a script, search tktext.py that takes a keyword from entry and then find all matches from the bottom text box. All matched words in the text box are now highlighted in red. The following shows the sample code. Before I show this to you, the extended version of this, which is given to you, oh, actually it is not, but this is the challenging to you. I think you may be excited. Yes. So we'll learn this later when it comes to. Oh, okay, here already. What we can do here, we can list the URL, any URL that you know. Can anybody give to me? I can do first www.mercy.edu, www.amazon.edu. Anybody? Google, oh, there's not much for Google. You will know what I mean by this. Not much from Google. Something else. CNN.com, www.nytnewyorktimes.com. Any? I think that's much. What do you want to search from those websites?
ISIS.
ISIS?
ISIS.
ISIS. Is it which one?
Yes.
Oh, not CIES. ICIS. Any multiple keyword can be found. Mercy. Because of mercy. Shoes. SHOES. Oh, it's not going to fit into the Amazon search. It brings up Amazon the homepage. Whatever the page brings up, by this URL will come. Somewhere here is CNN.com or New York Times. Maybe New York Times has some shoes. Who knows? Yeah, some articles is talking about shoes. Yeah. I would put here Trump. Okay. Thing is this. You don't have to, whatever you highlight here, so highlight is also possible. You can highlight this. And then first thing that you need to do is you have to bring those here. So bring all the websites. So fetch the selected. This is selected web. Let me first check if it is internet is running. See from Mercy College. This is Mercy College. It's everything about school, business. Celebrate Mercy College with a song from one of our own, fancy something. Not only Mercy's. So next one is Amazon.com. Still Mercy. This is Amazon from this. See here, I put with the HTTP followed by that Amazon.com. So if you go to Amazon, Amazon.com online shopping for electronics, apparels. Some of the script can be captured. Try Prime. Oh, anybody Prime member? Oh, there may be some shoes. I don't know. Here. And after this Amazon, they're all Amazon. Or still, Amazon is too long. So we scroll this down. Amazon homepage is too long. I didn't know. It's long. A lot of scripts. We have to learn something from. See, Amazon.com has a lot of functions, AJAX functions, that you can learn from there. This is the CNN.com from these points. See here, CNN, which is the third. No, we'll select. So once you have this, then we have here a keyword. So we want to search case sensitive or all matches. So now I want to put all matches. So you can see any matches, then you can see the red color. See here, Morsi in red. I want to pull down this somewhere if there is. Here, Trump, ISIS. Here, ISIS attacking U.S. Power grid to what is that? H-boy hit high beams, shot dead 5. Biden's family says yes. Yes. Trump demands Trump some. Okay. If we put here more, then you can select more. And we can also select it a case sensitive. Any rare word so that we can see the case sensitive. Uncommon. That's too much. Geico. Geico is case sensitive, right? Okay. Try to all cap and see if there is any. So case sensitive. So all must be gone because it's a new search. It is. Let's say Trump is. Oh, this is a personal, so we cannot say this because our lecture is on YouTube. If somebody watch this, what else? Not privacy issues. EALTH, mirth, earth. Uh, Starting with uppercase to see if any earth. Case sensitive earth is very hard to see here, right? I'll scroll this if you can catch any red bullets. What we can do, we can find this something here. For example, history. At Mercy, we have a history keyword. I want to put here small case history. Okay, lowercase h, history, and search, case sensitive. History is not picked up, right? But if I do with the all lowercase of history as a keyword box, and if I click all matches, which means not case sensitive, then history is picked up here. Okay, so this is an example. To get to these points, before we get to these points, we could do for a small version of that. So let me get to that example. So it is called the search TK. Search TK text. This is it. So we have a keyword here. You can type the keyword. So you can put here any word. Any word can be typed in this editor. Anything that you want. And then if I put here any match, click match button, then it by default right now it is case sensitive. So if we put here uppercase A, then only uppercase A. Okay. So this is how can we make this search engine? That is the next program that I ask you to do. That appears here. Is there anything that yeah, this is a complete set, so you can practice this. Okay. The key point here is that the search Search is a method. Method available on text graphic components. Text graphic component has a very special method called search. So that search method is being used in that example and in my demo program. The search method takes 4 arguments. The first argument is the keyword. Second argument is I think starting point where we want to start, and then you can do whatever you want available, whatever arguments available, so that argument name and value pair. No case sensitive equals 1 means one means yes, right? So no case. So 1 over 0 you need to put here, and stop index, how further you want to search to the end of that. Highlight is one tricky, right? So I'm going to explain that a little later. How your program, how keyword is highlighted in different color. So actually there are 2 methods used: tag configure and tag add. They go together. Tag config and tag add. All right, as we practice this sample program, I think something impressive to you. The magic here is this. This match method, match function, is activated by clicking the button here, right? If this button is clicked, then match function will be, this is the text, and there is, command match. This match button, command match. This match function will be executed if button match is clicked. And this button match, btn match, that you can see the text, the label is a match, uppercase match. When it is clicked, this command equals match, lowercase match. This is the name of the method. This method should be defined in this script. So that is defined in this way. In this definition, the first method to be executed is the remove. What it does is that once you click the match with the one keyword, if you do not have this, then everything that you matched is highlighted. Highlights remains all the time. So when you click the button, then in order to highlight for the new matches, you need to remove the previous highlights. That's what this method did, right? Tag remove. Tag remove the definition of matched from the beginning to the end. So matched is defined here. Matched, this is the label of that configuration, which is used by this tag config. This is the label for this tag config. In other words, this is the variable referring to this particular definition. What is the definition in this configuration? Definition is this: foreground red, background yellow. So you've seen in your exercise, right? Highlights in red over the background yellow. You can change this if you want, okay? And this matched definition is used for remove and also used for add. Tag needs to be back in state if there is matches. So if there is found, then we want to highlight it. When you do highlight, when you apply this matched definition, you need to see the beginning of the keyword, ending of the keyword. You need to have some information of the position. Beginning position of the keyword and ending position of the keyword. That should be caught in this search function. Okay. This search function returns with this definition, with these arguments for this search method. Search method returns the first position information. When it's searched, it returns the position number of that keyword. Position information of the matched keyword. That is INDX. Then what is the last position? So first position is known because that is returned from this search method. What is the last one? It starts from, for example, your keyword is mercy, M-E-R-C-Y. Then we know the position for M of mercy. What is the ending position? Y. Yeah, M-E-R-C-Y. So what is the ending position? Ending position is that we can add the length of the keyword mercy to the position of the beginning, right? Mercy, M-E-R-C-Y, 5 characters. Assuming that starting position, beginning position of mercy keyword is 95, then ending position is 95 plus 5. So 100th is the ending position. So that is calculated here. Index, the first position, plus length. That is the format. S for string, D for decimal points. So this number, index is a number because that gives us that. And then I want to add that number, add to that number the length of the keyword. KK is a keyword, right? Because that is from here. So I want to add the length of the keyword to the position of that matched keyword. That is last INDX. So this tag is tag add applied the format definition of matched from the beginning of from the INDX to last INDX. That is what it does. Okay. Other than that, others simple that we already know. Any question about this? block. Okay. So extension of this, as I think some of you already done, is that if we have more than one keyword, so from here, when you read from that entry box, if entry box contained more than one keywords, because the user entered more than one keywords, then you have to read it and then split it. Split function returns a list of all the keywords, right? For example, like this. Keys will kk dot split. Then kk is whatever the user typed input. If there is a white space in between, then you want to split it and return each element in the list format. After this, then you have to do, if there is a keys, then for I in keys, and then everything should be indented somehow, right? This is messed up, so I need to put it back. Okay, this should be removed. And if you have this I, then instead of kk, you need to put here I. And every other is correspondingly changed. Like here, kk and kk. Should be removed. All right? Make sense? And also another extension from this example is that you can append more than one files in that text box. Opening files is similar to the coding list that we practiced. And one thing that you have to, I want you to have some, I want to encounter that errors. If you simply try to put that in the frame, then there is an error because there is two different layouts formation. So it would nicely appended, contained in the top windows, which is root. Anything can be contained in the root. Frame is contained in the root also. But if you contain pull-down menu in the frame, then there may be error. Maybe improved later, but current version of Python complains. Okay, other than that, I think it is straightforward. So what is the beauty of your extended version? That is, you can search more than one keywords from more than one file contents, which is similar, which is more little more powerful than a Linux grep command. Linux grep, grep command, can match one keyword from multiple file contents. But your program can do more than that. Your program can match more than one keywords from more than one files. which is powerful, right? That can be done by modifying and adding a little more from the one that you already learned. Okay, so let's work for that. Okay, this is the addendum to your chapter. I think it's chapter 4, right? If you see here, lots of import. This many modules needs to be imported in order to run the demo that I gave to you from the beginning today. What it does is that, for example, URL lib. The program access the URL. There's a URL lib module. Actually, this is the package like that. Inside there is a module called the request. Having this module URL lib dot request, you can access web pages. Web page. Yeah, open URL. Oh, not open URL. Read one. Okay, here. You can read here's the thing. If you have a URL, then you can read URL lib.request.url open, then URL this brings the file. Okay, so we can practice that from the interactive mode of Python. So why don't we do that? So here, if we do Python, then run Python 3.4, so that you can import lib URL lib dot request. Okay, and then define mercy. Mercy equals https://www.mercy.edu. There's a mercy. After that, we can do content. I want to receive that particular website, which is mercy. Okay, this is a mercy URL. I label it mercy and put it in this function URL open, and then content of that mercy web page in this content. So if I do print content, okay, so print it's not read. What should I do? That this is something. This is HTML responsive. So what should I do? Can I print? You mean this?
That's correct. It will have a bunch of nonsensical data.
Right. Why it's not working? To me, everybody's got this. What is the problem? Incomplete read, 0 byte read. Incomplete read, B, O. Okay. 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 Print, therefore, content dot decode. Nothing. Oh, it wasn't up properly. Right. So this is the content, right? This is let me see. Content, print. How can I start? There's no way that you can start. Content dot read the line, the first line, and then we can do. Was always there. Some read forward. Okay. Content is not anymore. So redo that and print that it reads line by line. So let's see how far it goes. Okay, as much as. So we have this much lines. We could get that lines from the web page. If you go to, for example, www.mercy.edu, and then here you can get view page source. This page source is appearing here. Look at this. Documents HTML, blah, 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 blah. Starts from there, right? Documents, blah, blah, blah. Next line is HTTP that. So that is this. And next line is HTML lang in that. That is this. Okay? So that is source code itself is captured. Therefore, when you print, I think I lost the content again at this moment. So what you need to do is that you have to recap the content of that from the URL, and then read all. Then you have so much ugly content. It's not really ugly content. Itself is an HTML. This is a HTML file, but not all simple HTML, but it has some script files also, JavaScript or ASP, Microsoft ActiveScript, whatever, right? That is this. See here some of the script functions contained here. They all came up. So next step here is that we want to make it readable, because the HTML, source file of a web page itself looks so ugly. It is not well readable. Only is readable to the programmers. So what you need to do is here. There's another module available. Beautiful soup. How about that? Beautiful soup. Here, beautiful soup. That is a module. This beautiful soup will give you soup. Delicious soup. So it is eatable or readable. Okay. So using that modules, then the content that we can see is readable. In this code, we first grab the content from the URL and then soup it by running BS. BS contains that content and it returns something readable. So soup.getText, then it returns readable text only, which means it removes all HTML tags. Only the content, only the soup, not the soup container, not the soup bowl. Soup content only, okay? Not the soup bowl. That's what that module can do for you, okay? So the web page, source code of a web page looks so ugly. It's not really ugly. To us, that is something that we want to learn, right? It has a lot of tags and codes. And then by running another module, like beautiful soup, you can have something eatable. That is one thing that I can make a point here before we close our graphical user interface chapter, right? There are a lot more than this. A lot more than this, okay? But this is one small sample that you can start with, okay? Hopefully you can extend more and more by having those small graphic components and menus, and also possibility to access outside, like a web page extraction. Okay. Any question? Okay. This is the end of chapter 2. I'm going to bring up next chapter and then a little bit of introduction, and then we will finish up. Your midterm will cover up to the next class. So half of, not really half, 1/3 or 1/4 of the networks. So we have networking here. and I'll give you introduction of networks. I know some of you already had knowledge about networks, so that you can remind a little bit of those. Okay, here. So I will post this slides on Blackboard. Introduction. So we need to learn what is the internet. Internet always said the internet cap. If you say the capital internet, it means the internet that we are currently talking about. So web page and everything, that is the internet. If you say lowercase I internet, then it is particular protocols. Internet originally invented as a protocol by DoD many decades ago, and now so popular. It's not just only protocol, it's a lot more than that, right? It covers everything. So we call that these days Internet of Things, right? IoT. Everything can be in the internet. That's what we are talking about here. Okay, the internet. And then we are talking about a little bit of a protocol and host access net, physical media, and packet circuit switching, internet infrastructure, and some issues. What is the internet? The internet nuts and bolts view. The internet consists of PC, server, wireless laptop, smartphone. One more thing not appearing here, but will be partially already. There's a sensors. So sensor networks, some of the sensors, right? Some sensor already built in your smartphone. I want you to list the sensors that you can feel from your smartphone. Tell me what sensors available from or in your smartphones. GPS is a sensor, so satellite sensor. Bluetooth. Which one? Yeah, dim display. That is another sensor because if nothing, we call that proximity sensors. Camera is another visual sensor. Proximity is that if no objects near to that smartphone, then turned off immediately, right? But if you keep the distance from your cheeks, then, well, not only that. When you talk, then display is off, but when you try to look, then it's automatically turned on. That is, what is the sense of that? There is an accelerometer sensor. So when you make some speed accelerometer by moving quick, so that it responds to turn on. Huh? No, not.
If you bring it to your cheek, it doesn't have light, so it dims the display.
Is it because of the light?
And yeah,
I think there's an accelerometer.
look at it. Light shines in, and it opens the screen.
For example, at night, if there is no light, then
Because the light always dims the display.
always, if you talk here and then bring it here, then it's still. Yeah, it is. It is accelerometers sensors.
It's light inside the screen.
Mm. No, it is not. It is, well, it may, Edmund. It's up to the implementation. Not all reacts in the same way. But there is an accelerometer sensor built in, which means it responds to the movement. Okay. So millions of connected computing services, which means there are millions of hosts. Many cases, host looks like server, but host in this networking context is end system. So your laptop will be host. Your smartphone will be host. Okay. And then there is a communication skills, wireless link and wired link. These days, more wireless, right? In wireless network, there are multiple different protocols available from 802.11, which is Wi-Fi. We all know that, right? And partial Wi-Fi is also available into your smartphone, because your smartphone is nothing but laptop, right? It has its operating systems. So from that operating systems and network modules talk to the access points. Then that is 802.11. But your smartphone has more than that. It has a cell phone, cell signals. Not only Wi-Fi, but cell signals. Therefore, sometimes you use your data if you use cell phone signals, cell phone communication, cell phone connection. If you use a Wi-Fi connection, then you can save data time, right? Text messages usually go through the cell signals. Therefore, if you go outside the country, you cannot send text messages. If your text messages go through, what happens? Then it charges international phone calls. If you send 2 text messages, I tested that from London, 2 text messages. I didn't make any phone call, any voice phone call, just 2 text messages go through the cellular communications. They charge $50. $50. Yeah, 2 data messages. Simple text. Simple text. Okay. So be careful. Although you didn't do any international phone calls, but if you make text messages, if text messages go through, then it means you use international phone call. So expensive. So you need to completely turn off. So we have a wireless and wired link. And packet switches. In between, there is a router. Router is different from switch, right? Switch is linking the same domain. If that is a wired domain, same domain, same internet domain. Domain means it's not really domain, same protocol. Router, you can switch from one protocol to another protocol. For example, if you have a wired communication, wired line, see, look at this router. At one end, there is a wired. At another end is a wireless. Wireless. Okay. Many times they go together. Access points and router together. But different modules. It's modules bundled together. So everything here, bolts and nuts, are called internet, the internet. Any specific internet protocol used somewhere here, that is small internet. That is called specific protocol. Which is not the same as the internet. Lots of fun in internet, right? Why this guy have here in while we are talking about the internet? This is a toaster. Is it toaster?
Looks like it toasts the bread around the house.
Right. Somewhere that is wired. I thought it is another is a microwave oven. Microwave oven. Right? Microwave. Microwave, that term is not created because of oven itself. But microwave itself is the term from wave frequencies. Micro, not macrowave, but microwave. Microwave is a particular, covers a particular frequency bandwidth, and that is the bandwidth that our cell phones, our Wi-Fi signals are currently using. Yeah, 2.4 gigahertz. Somewhere around 2.4 gigahertz is the frequency that our cell phone, our Wi-Fi, and our microwave run. If you turn on your microwave continually and run your smartphone, and all others are completely shielded from one room to another room, in between there is a microwave. Microwave is running, and you want to turn on your smartphone, and the other side wants to receive it. Then there is a complete interference. Same frequencies, right? So those are all. This is outdated, right? Somehow. Technology moves so fast. What else? What else can you add to this fun internet gadgets and widgets? You might have some more than this, right? A lot of sensor embedded gadgets. What is it? Oh, yeah. Can you bring it next time? Okay. Wow. So you name it. Internet is a network of networks. So capital Internet. Protocol is control cell sending and receiving messages. So there is a protocols for sending message over wired connection and also wireless connections. There's a standard available, RFC, request for commands, and IETF, Internet Engineering Task Forces, and then some recommendations given by IEEE. This is more academia. International Electronics Engineering, something like that, right? So they recommended, for example, IEEE 802.3, 802.11 was the most popular, 15, 16, and all the way up. 802.3 is the Ethernet that we currently have wired connection. 802.11 is Wi-Fi. 802.15 Bluetooth or Zigbee XB, and 802.16 is wireless LAN. All such things available. Wireless metro, wireless, so wide area network. Wireless wide area network. Wireless WAN. So in the service view, internet can give you all the applications: web, voice over IP, email, games, commerce, social, networking. And therefore there is programming interfaces. So all kinds. More than this. Yesterday morning we had a meeting. There's a company called the Next. That company located in the Midtown Manhattan. CEO and all major guys came here and we had a meeting. They will set up an internship program. They want to hire some of our students from cybersecurity. They want to hire. If you want to work internship, then we have currently about 5 positions available. But what they were looking for is somebody who has programming skills. I know you all have programming skills from this class, so you are all qualified. No. This is IT companies. What I'm trying to say here is the services. They are providing services. Like Amazon.com. Amazon.com provides the services of all selling and buying products, right? Real products. Similarly, they want to set up services to use some computer-related services. If somebody wants to do networking, somebody wants to install some servers, some laptop, some services. They are all services. The services will be available from their service. Okay. So another level of services available from your internet. Not only something that you can touch or you can feel, but more than that, some consultation services, that is a service also. They are doing that. Okay. What time? Yeah, give me 5 more minutes, then I'll finish up. Human protocols and network protocols. Protocol means some of the setting up an interface between two objects. If you want to meet somebody, what do we need to do? First thing that we open up the dialogue very smoothly is to start with some light topic. So we can say, what is the time? What is the weather? I have a question. You can introduce yourself, right? All such things. Sometimes you need to use some broker. Broker is available for network protocols also. There is a we call that, many times we call that broker. Sometimes some other term. Broker is the term used between human also, right? If you want to sell or buy homeowners, you do not really contact the homeowner directly, right? You need to do it through the brokers. Broker knows the protocols. If you do not know protocol, if you know your opponents, and if you know the protocol, then you can use that protocol. If you do not, then use a broker. Same thing in the network. If you know your counter very well, and if you know the protocol already defined between two components, then you can use that protocol. But if you do not know, then use the broker. There are a lot of brokerage services available. Amazon.com is one of the brokerage services, right? You want to buy some, but you do not know the manufacturer. You do not know the sellers. So they are doing the brokerage services. Similarly, I want to hire some computer experts, but I do not know. So there is a lot of brokerage services. There's a protocol. So protocol defines format, order of messages sent and received among network entities, and some actions to take. There is a protocol. Protocols are defined. There are multiple ways of setting up the protocols. In human society, there's a multiple steps, right? Usually four-way. We call that four-way handshaking. Particularly this term used for the networks. But why not in our case? We say, this is a requester, this is a server. Then requester say hi, then server say hi. And got the time in 2 o'clock. This is what she wants, right? This is requested. But she didn't request it directly. We need to set up some communication. Similarly here, this is my laptop. This is a requester, and there is a server. I want to receive a file. Usually I do not directly receive a file. I need to set up some communication. First of all, this server does not know who wants this file. So we need to set up some. So request, then this guy says, oh yeah. What do you want? This guy says, finally, I want this. Then this guy, oh yeah, I have. Get it. So four-way usually good. So while you are going back home and enjoying your weekend, think about that four-way handshaking. Tomorrow, if the weather permits, then you go to park and try to someone. Four-way handshaking. Do not access in rude protocols. Directly, can I get something from you? Four-way, right? Any question, any comments? You can go to Central Park, okay? Yeah. Okay, have a good weekend. See you next week. Don't forget that we will have a midterm in 2 weeks, okay? Next week. And meanwhile, if you have any particular questions to clarify, then let me know in advance so that we can prepare some. Okay? See you next week.